Hello everybody, this is Delpha, and we're back If My Heart Had Wings. Let's carry on. We won't be able to rise any higher here. The G-forces that felt so strong at first were now getting weaker. We'd risen to a certain extent, but we were now just maintaining the current altitude. If we stay here like this, the thermal might grow and we might be able to gain a stronger lift. Well, if we think about the time, it's quite likely that will happen. This is because thermals get bigger as the sunlight hits the Earth, which heats quicker than the air. And with this level of heat, the air close to the ground warms up, causing thermals to blank occur. Okay then. Since last night was so cool, when the morning sun hits the Earth, more and more strong thermals will start rising. But we don't have time for that. If we wait a little longer for the sun to come up completely, the morning glory will disappear. We're getting out of this thermal.
わかった。
Okay then. As we look up the morning glory in the distance, we flew out the thermal.
だいぶ流されているな。
Have we? Thermals are often thought to extend straight up like a pillar through the air, but actually they don't go straight up. In the same way that smoke is blown by the wind, thermals twist when hit by the winds on the side. Ah, okay. Well, we were climbing in the thermal that was leaning to one side because of the wind. We've moved further away from the morning glory. The morning glory doesn't just stay in one place. It is rotating as it rolls, moving across the lake. If it gets too far away, then we'll have no means of catching up with it, other than falling to increase our propulsion, which makes things difficult. Increasing speed. Ew. I push the yoke forward, pointing the nose downwards. While sliding down on the air, the glider accelerates. Whenever the nose is pointed downwards, the ground always comes into view. Amane, who is scared of heights, stiffens her screams. Amane, we'll be okay. The glider will not fall. I'll make sure of that.
落ちてる。
Slowly.
嘘、そんなことないよ。ちゃんと飛んでる。でもまた高度が下がってるわ。サーマルを出たのね。この状況なら賢明な判断かも。サーマル？ねえ、サーマルって何？なんでもないわ。でも
Helpful.
このままじゃ落ちる一方よ。次のサーマルを早く見つけないと。
What? What? Okay. We've caught up with it.
けど高度もだいぶロスしたぞ。
To get back to the altitude that we lost, we search for the next thermal. In theory, they occur more easily above ground that looks like soil or wide areas of asphalt, like parking lots.
あそこはどうだ？
Amane pointed towards the runway which we had taken off. It was a wide area of soil. In the sunlight, it certainly met the conditions needed for thermals to be made easily. Alright! And we're back here then.
あれ？なんか戻ってきたよ。着陸する気かな？
Nope.
まさかトラブル？葵くん、葵くん！どうしたの？何があったの？
What's that behind her? I don't know what that is. Don't panic, we're just searching for thermals.
トラブルじゃないのね。
That's right.
けどこの時間帯じゃサーマルを見つけるのも大変よね。ちょうどいい場所にこれから発達しそうな雲でもあればいいんだけど。他に何か目印はないの？あとは実際に飛んでみるしか。もう少しなのに。
Are they?
双眼鏡貸して。何かないか探してみる。
We did get some lift above the runway after all, but it was weak. It wasn't enough to raise the heavy double-seater glider. It must be because the ground hasn't warmed up enough to create strong thermals. Damn it! Aren't there any around here? In the meantime, the glider is gradually descending. Whoa! Then the wind came. Perhaps because of the influence of the morning glory, the airflow is being disturbed. The glider wobbles as it's hit by the strong winds, temporarily reducing the lift and causing a drop in altitude. I start to feel impatient. Should we have stayed over there after all?
でもそれだと
The cloud from before was moving even further away from the direction we want to head in. Even if we can raise the altitude we need, we would be too late. How much time has passed since we took off? Meanwhile, the sky was becoming brighter and has changed from the morning glow to light blue. Hello, Amane.
届かないんだろうか
Amane mumbled to herself, while looking up at the passage of cloud stretched across the sky. No, that's not true. It's right in front of us. Don't lose hope yet. We'll do something about it. Kochi and Akia were also looking for clouds from the ground. We haven't reached the time limit yet. That is true.
やっぱりだいぶ高度を下げてるサーマルを見つけられないのねどうしようこのままじゃあの綺麗な雲に届かないよ頑張れ頑張れ
Shouting isn't going to help.
頑張っても上昇気流が吹かないんじゃどうしようもないわね
That is true.
トンビが飛んでるわグライダーも鳥さんみたいに羽をバサバサやって飛べればいいのになだからエンジンを乗せればいいのにってあらどうしたのヨロちゃんこっちへ来るみたいあほんとだこっちに来る頑張れ頑張れ変ね
That ain't helping.
こっちの空にもそれらしい雲なんてないのに超頑張って
Yes, we can hear you. You're right, Kotari.
間違いない双眼鏡じゃ小さくしか見えなかったけど
In response to Kotari's transmission, we headed across the lake towards Windmill Hill. There should be some thermals over there, but there aren't any clouds that seem to indicate thermals. I don't know.
サーマルがあるからといって必ずしも雲が作られるわけじゃないそれに多分丘が斜面になっているせいだと思う
Do you mean that thermals occur more easily above slopes?
Huh.
Do they?
太陽光は地表に対して斜めに降り注いでいるだろうけど斜面になっていればその光を正面から受けられるその分エネルギーが集中して温まりやすいんだ
Okay. It's true. The sloping surface of the hill that we're heading towards is shining from being in the direct light of the morning sun. What was that? How is it, Kotari?
いたいた見つけたさっきよりかなり高くまで上がってる間違いないトンビよ
A kite. Where? I see a windmill. That's all I see. We can't confirm that from where we are right now, but it seems that a kite is flying above the hill. Kites are birds that glide to high altitudes using upward drafts. In other words, there's a thermal over there. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that there is enough lift to raise a heavy double-seater glider. But there's nothing else left for us to try. I don't think of anything other than aiming for that point. Eventually, the glider crossed the lake and approached the air above Windmill Hill. Whoosh. Whoa! Whoa! Suddenly, we were shaken vertically. The variometer told us that the glider had dropped sharply. We've been caught in a downward draft. I panicked, and the next moment... And here comes the music. Of course.
上がってる
Suddenly, it felt like we were being pushed from below, and the glider steadily floated upwards. Then a little later, the variometer informs us that we were rising. We had ridden a thermal. Come on, guys, feel pumped. It's pretty strong. We can do this, Amane. Yeah. Sure. Right. Come on.
上がってる上がってるほら見てアゲハほんとだすごいもうあんな高さまでね でしょ。
Yeah, way to go, Kotori!
褒められちゃった。上まで上がれそうなの？
They've got a pretty strong lift. I think they can make it.
あまね先輩のこと頼んだわよ。
Leave it to me.
よーし、行ってこい。あの雲の向こうまで。
Well, we'll try. Yeah, on the wings that you guys made. Sure. Oh, it's these two again.
すごい。
Everybody's here. Kind
こ
of.
んなに高くまで。風に乗ってるだけなのに、どうしてあんなに高く飛べるの？理屈なら説明できるけど、聞きたい？聞いてもわからないし、それにあんなの理屈で説明できるわけないと思う。理屈がないとあんな大きなもの飛べないわよ。
That is true.
すごいよ。
Like magic.
すごい。
Before we knew it, the powerful thermals occurring above Windmill Hill had lifted us high up in the sky. We were getting closer and closer to the morning glory. Getting closer, Manny. The clouds that from below looked small and intermittent were actually pretty big when we got close to them. I wonder how wide they are. At the very least, they could comfortably be able to cover the width of the glider. They stretched out to around the distance needed to go diagonally across the lake.
少し遠いな。
It's okay. If we can keep going above the clouds, it should be easy to pass across them. Would it? The thermal that we were riding was pretty powerful. As Manny had just explained, the slope of the hill is hit directly by the sunlight, so it heats up quickly. In other words, that means that the difference in temperature is bigger compared to the surrounding area. If there is no difference in temperature, then the thermals will not be created. And if the difference is big, then strong thermals will be made. The upwards draft that Kotori had found for us feels strong enough to take us all the way to the horizon. While this is happening, the sun is rising and the air temperature is increasing. Morning glory occurs for about 2 hours from the beginning of dawn. Come on, come on! I'm getting impatient. However, if we try too hard, we'll lose balance and we might lose altitude. While checking the rate of ascent on the variometer, I turn the glider to aim for the core of the thermal, the most effective part. Eventually, the glider that Amane and I were riding reached the altitude of the morning glory that we were aiming for. Then, we had soon risen above that and reached a position where we could view it from above. We can have a picture. Or intro. I haven't really seen this. That's below it, not above it. Oh, here we go, we're back. Look at Manny!
見てる。
I knew she'd be looking at it, but I said it anyway. It's because I was so moved. Is there anyone who wouldn't be moved to see a spectacle like this? Well, technically I'm playing a game, but it's talking about clouds. So it's quite difficult to be excited about this. No offense. With the bluish-purple sky in the background, the pattern of clouds shone as they were bathed in the pale pink sunlight. Words like beautiful wouldn't really express it at all. The word that came to mind was divine. My trembling hands gripped the yoke to gain an altitude to allow us to stay above the clouds. I turned into the thermal. Oh! I glanced at the front seat and I saw Amane from the side. Her eyes were wide open, like a little kid's, as she looked at the pattern of clouds stretching across the sky. She's happy! I have a picture for a thumbnail now! Yay!
イスカが私に見せたがっていた景色。私は ていこうとしていた場所。
You want to speak up a little bit louder, Amani? Amani, can you get the camera?
ああ、そうだった。
Before we took off, Agia had given her a digital camera. She asked us to take pictures if we were able to fly above the Morning Glory. This was the perfect viewpoint looking across the clouds.
撮ったぞ。
They look completely different to what we just saw. Alright, let's go! To that place!
あ
That's underneath it though. Well, actually, if you turn your head upside down, then I guess you are above it. Amani nodded as if preparing herself. We didn't come here to look at the clouds. We came to pass across them. Once we had gained enough altitude, I tilted the yoke and turned the glider. Now it's time for us to go. Go where? The airflow here was calm, and we could fly without being shaken by crosswinds. In the upper parts of the sky, there were hardly any clouds, and the clear light blue gradient spread out in all directions. While paying attention to our rate of descent, we travelled along the space of crystal clear light. We are approaching the passage of light. A rolling airflow occurs around the clouds, and if we can ride that, we can pass along the passage of clouds as far as we want. Can you? Okay. We finally arrived. Well, technically you're still underneath it, I think. From the angle, it looks like you're still underneath it. Now you're at the side of it. The Morning Glory was right there, at our fingertips. And as I thought that, the plane explodes and we die. Well, this happens apparently. Wind. Blue? All of a sudden, it happened. As our view spun around, the divine road of cloud that should have been there in front of us, in the space of a moment, was getting further away. We suddenly lost lift, and then a few moments later we realised that the glider was rapidly descending. I quickly pulled at the yoke, but there was no response. The field of vision span around, and we couldn't even figure out if we were facing up or down. What is this? What's going on? Is it a stall? However, there were no signs that was going to happen. It was just like, yes, it was just like there was no air, and we had lost all of our lift. We're falling.
どうしたの？なんかあった？落ちてる？嘘！ちょっと双眼鏡貸して！やばい！どうしちゃったの？葵くん！葵くん！応答して！葵くん！葵くん！葵くん！応答して！葵くん！
I can't deal with that right now. The surface of the lake appeared from the other side of the canopy. We were falling with the nose pointing straight down.
葵くん！
I'll level it out. In the heat of the moment, I didn't know which controls I used. Anyway, I tried to lift the nose up and stabilize the wings. Whoa! Whoosh. A shock ran through me that felt like the fuselage might be crushed. To us, the pilots, the vibrations passed through our bodies, and for a moment, I thought that we had crushed. Or not?
助かった。
It's heaven! Ah. Looks like it. The nose and the wings leveled out, and the glider had gained lift and was floating. We were 200 meters from the surface of the water. In a moment, we'd fallen almost 800 meters. Wow. If it was a few seconds later, it would have been too late. My whole body trembled with fear and relief. Are you alright, Amani? She looks fine. She's safe. She's fine. Her shoulders were shaking, but her reply was okay. What the hell happened just now? There were no signs that the airflow had become separated from the main wings. In other words, a stall. It is often said that it can occur without warning, but for it to occur somewhere that had such stable airflow,
強い下降気流に巻き込まれた
I
の
was
か
thinking
も
that
しれ
too,
ない。
actually. You mean just now? If that were true, it was pretty strong. Do things like that really happen?
夏の間 湖や大きな河川の中央付近では時折ダウンバーストが発生することもあるらしい。
Downbursts are powerful downward drafts. If a downburst, a giant mass of air, falls to Earth, it is powerful enough to cause severe damage. If we were swallowed by something like that, we wouldn't stand a chance. Ugh, don't like the sound of that. Okay then guys, I am going to end it there. I think that was 20 minutes? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This has been Delpha. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Thank you again, and goodbye.